Hello, everybody. This is Karen of Myth and Gears, and we're going to be playing session 3 of Black Sails in Dark Skies tonight, which is using Genesys. And I have with me 4 wonderful players, so I'll pass it on to them. We'll start with Baron.
Yeah, might as well start with the best. I kid. I'm Baron. I run the YouTube channel RWD Gaming. Come check me out. We just put up a live play last night for Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, which was a lot of fun. And then we will also be playing the Waterdeep conversion called the Eurodesian Dragon Heist, and that is the 30th of this month. I also have a Caldera game the setting written by Jeremy Lilley, and me running it with a couple other people also at the end of the month. So busy as ever. And I'm playing Charlatan Charlie tonight, who is kind of an asshole. So perfect fit. Thanks for having me.
Anytime, Baron. I'm glad you can come and be an asshole. So that's great. And now we'll pass it on to Jeremy.
Hey everybody, my name is Jeremy. I have the YouTube channel, the Erasmus Expeditions, where I do live plays, talk about RPGs, crafting videos, and things like that. I'm also 1/3 of the Dudes of Yore podcast. I run that with my friends Jeff Doty and Chad Nick. Yeah, it can also be found on YouTube, and go check it out. I guess I'll just go to who I'm playing. Bronson Fisk is a bosun. So he's kind of a big, broad-shouldered individual, but he's a little more articulate than you might expect from somebody who's so brutish. Yeah, this is, I think, my 3rd time to step into Genesys. So I'm hoping that I'm understanding a little bit better. Hopefully I'm getting there. I think playing some Legend of the Five Rings has kind of helped a little. It's a kind of similar system, so looking forward very much to getting back into this setting and making Karen come out of her shell. So, all right, let's do this.
No, I want to stay in my shell. It's so much more comfortable there. And now we have Jason.
Hey, mute button is a thing. Hello, everybody. I'm Jason. I run occasionally a channel called Smith's Forge Gaming, where I don't have much but live plays over there. Today I am going to be playing Mr. Scheffley, the navigator of this fine crew here. Also looking forward to being in Jeremy's 2nd round of Highlander, which is a really great system. It is based off of a system that escapes me at the moment, but it's essentially doing Reflections. Thank you, sir. Dueling Samurai. He's reflavored it to the Highlander setting. I'm a huge fan. It's great. Check it out. Also with Baron and his Dragon Heist game. Also a whole lot of fun there. Looking forward to that, and been looking forward to this for a long time. So hope y'all enjoy it as much as we like playing it. Thanks.
Thank you, Jason. And last but not least, Megan.
Hi, everyone. I'm Megan. I am one half of the YouTube channel Dice on Ice, where we do undisclosed stuff and things, hopefully. And tonight, I will be playing Nicola King, who is the misfit surgeon, doctor / cook on the ship. So I'm really excited to jump back into Genesys.
You were saying your character's name was Dr. Slash. I was like, that's fucking hardcore.
Right?
Totally badass.
I want to hear about this undisclosed stuff you're going to be having. That sounds really interesting. All right, so where we left off, what we've done so far, as this intrepid crew has managed to find a captain who would take them on, and they have proceeded to track down and board the Defiance, and they've managed to basically have it dead in the air, and they have boarded it, taken off all the booty that they wanted, captured the captain, had some skirmishes, that kind of thing. And in the process, were found that they were actually spotted by another ship, a Empire ship, the Bite of Justice, which came after them and tracked them into the Isles of Teeth, where they had a harrowing, but their navigator pulled them through and managed to find them a safe little spot to hunker down in. And that is where we find them right now. In the Isles of Teeth, underneath this overhang, there's a ship kind of harbored right now. Off in the distance, there's still this storm that's on the skyline. You can see it. And the Bite of Justice has, for the most part, given up on the chase. And you can see that they are flying around above the Isles of Teeth, where you are sitting. And we find our crew inside the captain's quarters around a table. And they are all having a chat with the captain. Well, we find ourselves in a mighty pickle. What do you say we do? We've got the Bite of Justice above us. We're in the Isles of Teeth. Not a place I want to be.
Are we on the water? Have we touched down into the water here, or are we still hovering?
As far as I know, I believe what Argus did was find an outcropping of rock that also had an overhang, and he kind of set you down inside that. Okay. So you're not in the water, but you are on land.
Okay. I think maybe Mr. Fisk I think he takes his job really seriously. So he's probably standing right beside the captain, making sure that he's, immediately there if and when the captain needs anything. He's probably even standing at some kind of form of attention. He's got his back kind of straight, rigid up, his arms kind of folded behind the small of his back. And he says, well, sir, we could send a small party to see if we could perhaps gain some intelligence. If I'm not mistaken, the Defiance, the Justice's Bite took quite a beating on the rocks here, and we may be able to assess that they may have to leave. We could maybe send a party to further destroy their ship. But I think some intelligence might be in order.
I find myself agreeing with Fisk here. While I did what we could to get where in the situation that we are in, they seem to have taken quite the beating trying to give chase, Captain. At the very least, we can and should outweigh them.
And you, Charlie? What have you to say?
Well, Captain, not much for planning, but if you need someone to go sabotage, I suppose that's kind of my thing. How do we get me up there?
Argus, did you look into our little life craft? Do you think they could take us up there? Usually they're more for, gliding downward so you don't die. But do you think you could root them up so you can make it fly up?
I shall get Sterling and Ned right on that, Captain. And I would kind of half bow and make my way towards the door.
All right, so I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna work my magic, and then what? I usually would like to know the escape plan. Or is that kind of just up to me at this point?
Are you going alone?
Well, you tell me, Captain. I am merely a rigger. Fisk, can you pry yourself away from the ship long enough, or should I ask Nico?
He kind of looks at the captain kind of sideways.
Well, don't all jump at once.
I suppose that I could go with Charles. Yes.
I think it'd be quite interesting to go.
The three of
Captain
us.
kind of gives you a look, Nicola, like, really? You want to go up there with them?
Well, of course. She's a medical professional, isn't she?
Don't worry, I won't heal anyone when I'm up there. And she's just kind of like looking at her arm. I just think I should be a little more useful when it comes to whatever this is.
They could probably use your skills. Probably keep them in line.
Could I recommend perhaps we wait for the cover of darkness?
Oh, what? You don't want to go up there right now?
While the timing is not my concern, it's more a matter of
Mr.
visibility,
Fisk,
Charles.
I'm just messing with you. I don't want to go right now.
Of course. Humor, I see.
Exactly. Well, all right. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to rustle up a coat and something, sneak on board, avoid some attention.
You said this was an Imperial ship?
Yes, yeah.
Do we happen to have any kind of like commandeered Imperial uniforms or anything on board? Is this like a common like faction that we would be having run-ins with?
Redcoats, perhaps?
Yeah, they are definitely the bane of your existence. These are the guys who are always hunting you down. So yeah, let's say you do. Let's say you have some tattered, or at least some sort of...
I think mine probably has like a hole like in the chest, and I kind of like
It's taken off of it.
Yeah, it's like, I remember this one. I think I shot this guy.
So awesome.
Oh, Fisk. That reminds me. Sorry, Mr. Fisk. I seem to have lost my gun. So, if you happen to be up there and see one lying around.
He kind of looks at the captain again and kind of shrugs his shoulders.
If you could see my face, I would be smiling. Maybe you see like the mask I'm wearing kind of lift up with my cheekbones.
Shall I give him another one, Captain?
Carly. You will be the death of me. But yes.
I'm the only one going over to these other ships all the time. Can't be expected to hold on to every single gun I get.
It'd be nice if you held on to one.
We'll see. We'll work on it. You have my word.
I'll take that as a yes then, Captain.
Yes, make sure you have everything you need. The boarding guns, the ones that actually shoot stuff, whatever you need. Get it from the armory. I trust you, Mr. Fisk.
Aye, sir. It will all be carefully inventoried.
And I too, Mr. Fisk, trust you.
Careful, Charles.
I'm shitting you. Am I right, bro?
If Mr. Fisk is going towards the armory, I think, Nicola, you would feel that she's following him. with just like this excited jitter.
Only what we need. It was the captain's orders.
Yes, of course. Only what we need.
Go ahead and describe what you guys take from the armory.
So I definitely have a pistol or pistol equivalent. I think that it's just standard flintlock in this. So yeah, I have a pistol, probably some rope. I want to say that like rather than just like a waist harness for this pistol, it's like chest harness, so I can pull it out of my coat that I am also grabbing. I'm grabbing an Imperial coat. I have my weapon, of course. Some manacles. And maybe some parchment and charcoal. I don't know, something I may use.
You mentioned sabotage at one point.
Yeah. I'm not a mechanic or an engineer. I'm the doer. Someone needs to be the maker.
So I have two questions. The first is blunderbuss. The second is grenades.
Yes and yes.
Sweet.
I'll take grenades too.
Nicola would take some of the poison that she had made, a couple of flasks of that. She would also, if there's some sort of like push dagger or something brawly like that, then she would take that. She already has her little click dagger with her.
Yeah, there's absolutely push daggers. There's also, you were mentioning grenades, so there's the Clockwork Grenades. The thing to know about those is they are not always very, what's the word? Reliable. Sometimes they will explode on you. So, but you know that you're used to using them. Blunderbuss will have the same properties as the flintlock rifle. Just so damage is 8, a crit is 3, and it has long range. Grenade's damage is also 8 with a crit of 3, short range. And Megan, do you need the stats on a push dagger?
No, I think I got it here. So I think I'm good.
And Argus. First of all, while these guys are at the armory, I would like you to make a mechanics check for how you are re-outfitting one of the life boats.
Most good. Mechanics. So I would roll. Which dice would I roll for?
Okay. So what is your mechanics right now?
Rank 2.
Rank 2, and that is based off of intelligence. And what's your intellect?
Intellect is 3.
Okay, so you would have 2 yellow dice and 1 green dice.
Green dice.
Against 2 purple.
2 purple.
And I'm going to give you a boost die because you have helpers.
Okay. A boost die would be green or
The
blue?
the blue one. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I apologize. I'm still not
That's-
well versed in this.
that's okay. And because we keep forgetting about them, there's also story points. You guys have 4 story points currently, and I have 1. So
Okay.
you can use those to upgrade a die if you want, or affect the story somehow.
Okay. Hopefully, I won't need to. Let's see here.
So could we have spent one of those story points to generate those uniforms?
That would actually been a perfect use for the story point. Yes. So I will do that. I will put one over the used one.
I should open my PDF to.
Well, I say, Mr. Fisk, the uniforms are a bit outdated, but they should do it.
Yes, these are maybe 10 years old or so. They may not fool someone during the daytime, but perhaps at night it would be sufficient.
I agree.
Mine's a little small across the chest.
Yeah, perhaps we can get them tailored if they last. I'm like
Kinda-
trying to help. I'm trying to like help you like pull it.
Yeah.
So like
Kinda
off the
like-
corner.
Yeah, rip a little bit under the underarm so that the sleeves aren't quite as like tight.
You're not chafing, are you? You're good, right?
I should be fine. Thank you, Charles.
Just making sure. Once
On
we're up
that,
there,
roll.
we're up there.
I think
On
Nicola
that
would have
roll,
the opposite problem. Her clothes are very, very baggy and very long sleeves and long pants, and she looks like a child dressing up in their parents.
I didn't know halflings were a thing. On my mechanics roll, I had 2 successes. What is a starburst here? 3 threats. I'm sorry. 2 advantage, and 1, 2, 3, 4 successes and 3 threats.
You're muted, Karen.
Welcome to DMing Online.
Right? I was just channeling who is GM Scotty.
Yeah, poor guy.
I've been watching that so much. Okay. So sorry, you had how many successes? You have those are the sons. You had 4 of those?
Yes, 4 successes, 2 advantage, 3 threats,
And you got 0 failures?
0 failures.
Okay, so that means you have 4 successes and 1 threat. So you absolutely rig this life raft up to be able to fly up. It's got some pretty good speed too. Like you'll have some pretty good handling. However, it's a little bit rickety sometimes. So we'll threat. We will say it will give you a setback the first time you go to
There's no bottom.
the first time you
There's no like undercarriage. You just
the first time you go to do the handling, it'll kind of sputter and cut out a little bit, and then it'll carry on. So that is your setback. Now we are also talking about equipment in the armory. Was there anything in particular that Argus would want? And who's rigging up the sabotaging plans?
I guess that would fall under my purview, wouldn't it?
I mean, we did take grenades. I'm sure it only takes a handful of explosions on a vessel to make it unvesselable.
Yes.
It is a big ship. It is huge.
Well, I mean, if we put like a handful of grenades in one spot,
Maybe.
I mean, really, we would just have
or
to,
I mean, you could make a
a blender.
clockwork, take out the equivalent of a clockwork C4. It's just a normal C4 with a clock on it.
with a little bell.
It's
It's
actually
got
just
these
a
little
giant
gears
gear.
just stuck in it.
It's an analog clock rather than a digital timer.
I had to pull a string to make the gear turn.
And it goes tick, tick, tick.
I have, I guess I would have Ned and Sterling with some pistols. I would just want to bring my saber. I don't trust firearms. They're not civilized. And would work with, I guess, Charlie to come up with a plan to use these grenades to disable this this vessel that we're going on.
So, would it be like, can I have a vest of explosives?
Only if it's made from gorilla chest.
Made of clockwork gorilla chest.
So you kind of want a vest that has a bunch of these clockwork grenades on it. Is that
Yeah,
what?
basically, like if I get caught, it's like, well, fuck it, I'll blow myself up. But I can always just take the vest off, and now it's just a bundle of grenades in one spot.
Damn it, Charlie! Deal with your demon some other way.
Yeah, I'd say
You-
for
You
another
haven't
story.
seen my
For another,
face, okay?
for another story point, I would say sure.
Do we want to use a story point on this? I'm at requesting counsel.
We should use a story point.
How many grenades were we able to get
Yeah, how
Like-
many do we have total?
in general?
I'd say 4.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna go that far then.
So I'll take 2 unless everybody wants one. Does everybody want one?
I mean,
I'm good with you taking 2.
I'll take as many grenades as are given to me.
Megan, do you want any?
No, I don't think Nicola would want that.
All right, 2 for Charlie. 2 for
I don't
Fisk.
want whatever that is.
Yeah. So if you wanted to spend a story point on the vest, then you could have like the vest with like probably 8 more would be in it. That's up to you.
That's a big boom.
That's filthy.
That's a lot of grenades.
Yeah.
I would say yes then.
Yeah, let's
if
do it.
If it's that exchange, I'd be good with
Yeah.
I'm not sure I entirely appreciate Charlie's grin.
Well, come on, help me get my coat on.
Are you sure this is safe?
Absolutely not.
All right, just stay away from me when you do whatever you're doing.
I've rigged up the grenades on his vest to where it just has 2 pull bars, and if he would yank both the bars, it would set off all the grenades at once.
So
pull the pins on all of them at once.
I think that Charlie is coming off a lot more confident. And when Nico, when you say something to me, there's almost a look of like, oh, why am I doing this to myself again? But you don't, I'm not going to stop it. So I think out of anybody, would be the only one that could recognize that.
She would just casually kind of walk over to you then and just kind of put a hand on your shoulder. We'll make sure it doesn't get to this point.
Right. Of course. Very well. I have my coat. I think I probably have like a small satchel of some kind. A bag that I can like tie tight to my body. I imagine kind of like an Indiana Jones bag, but with also like a waist clip to it. So it's like half fanny pack. Just something that like I can hold tight and then like have the tail of my coat go over top of it. So I can conceal some rope, some parchment.
Absolutely. So has everybody got what they want? All right.
I'm sure we'll run into something where we're like, damn, we should have brought the such and such. But
Well, you have
Okay.
2 story.
Actually, Well, hold on. I'm actually pretty good at this part. We're taking the ship, right?
Uh,
No, that was a joke. That was a joke.
okay. I was like, I don't think so, man.
Captain
One more
Mutiny
for the
strikes
collection.
again.
We actually don't use the explosive. We start a mutiny.
Yeah, I don't know actually what 100% what our goal is. I think we're just going to try to sabotage however we manage.
We are essentially John Boyega from the new Star Wars. We are the simple solution that we're going to use in a poor way. So we're going to go up there and we're going to destroy this ship instead of escaping.
Yeah. I definitely think that this is probably not going to end up in a sabotage mission as opposed to just like a demolition.
Well, we do it
see.
in Blades, but we kind of put
Yeah, I was
that.
going to say, we don't have Clank with us, so...
We put that. We are effectively Clank tonight. Derek would be so proud. But I have everything I need, and I'm comfortable not flying. I don't think I'm very good at piloting things.
Why would you want to do my job?
I was going to say, we have somebody for that.
Yep.
Well, I'm just putting it out there.
You can
Very
fly
well.
black, Charles. You insist.
Actually, do we have parachutes?
What are parachutes?
Yeah, is
All
that a
right.
thing?
A big negative. You do not have parachutes.
All right.
Okay. Do we have wingsuits?
Squirrel suits.
Yeah. Or a glider.
Maybe
You
a zip line?
You are taking the ship's
Oh, so the
glider.
life things.
the
are
life
gliders.
force. Yeah. And Argus has rigged it up actually to have the ability to ascend rather than just descend.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Yeah.
So, but if you fall off of that, then I'm sorry.
And
Sounds
as
like
y'all
it.
approach this this life vessel, I have rigged it in a way where it just is a really poor outboard motor looking thing, where the fan is controlled by a single lever. I strike quite a pose as I'm waiting. Goggles down, grin on.
Are you sure this thing will work?
Quite.
Nico, he made a vest of explosives. We can't start questioning him now.
I think Fisk like climbs into this thing and it rocks a lot, and he kind of like reaches out and grabs on either side of like the gunnels and just like stabilizes. Oh, I hope you're right. He kind of lowers himself down gingerly.
So what time of day were you waiting for? Like this would have been already about afternoon by the time this is all happening.
I would think Twilight-esque time.
Well, my thinking was waiting until night because otherwise they're going to be able to see us approaching. Like if it's a clear night, they might still be able to see us, but if there's any light at all, I think it would be hard to get near their boat without them spotting us.
It definitely won't be a clear night because there's that storm that is moving towards you.
Yeah, it was like at the head of the storm or something. Or like it brought the storm with it or something. Wasn't there something like that?
The storm came in from the opposite direction that it was.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, but the storm is heading your way. So probably at some point this evening, like you will be in this storm.
I believe that's why we flew the Folly into the spot that we did, was to avoid this storm.
Oh, that's right. There was a lot of no, we were making cloud cutter with the cannon fire.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so maybe once it's dark, but before the storm actually hits, if there's a window that we could like go in.
I would say probably Twilight would probably be your best.
Okay.
Like Charlie was saying, if you wait too long, the storm will definitely be upon you. As it is, there is a good chance, like if you leave at twilight, that you will not make it back before the storm hits you. So you could be up there as the storm hits.
Twilight it is, I think.
I assure you the descent will be much smoother than the ascent.
Well, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, like what is our exact plan here? We're going to go up there. We're going to blow something up. What should we blow up?
So this is the picture of the Bite of Justice. It's missing one of these things that stand out to the side. It lost one of those in the chase of you guys. But otherwise, that is what you're looking at.
That front turbine seems like a perfect target to me.
Aye, but we'd have to go below deck and make it all the way to the front of the ship to blow it up unless we do it from the outside. But then we risk getting caught in the storm.
No matter the course of action, I believe the risk to success ratio is equally as dim, Charlie. This sounds right up your alley. What would be your hold up this time?
All right, Argus. Life's a gamble, and I assume that we all understand that if we're going up there. I just don't want to blow myself up unless I absolutely have to.
Quoteth the man wearing the vest.
If I absolutely have to.
Well, if Argus says that this turbine on the front is the best target, then I believe the man.
All right. I guess then we're all on the same page.
So we're going to attack it from inside or around the ship?
It would appear that the turbine itself would connect to the mechanism of the steam boiler from the forecastle in the front, in the inside below deck. Now, how we would approach that, I leave in the far more capable hands of the more violent sort.
Can it be destroyed from the outside?
Argus would pull out a small pad of paper and start scribbling something down with a very tiny pencil. And look up. The chances of that are less than grim, sir.
I think the quicker we get in, the less problems that we'll have. I mean, we do have the getup already done.
Very well, but are we all going in? That means we all have to get back out.
Well, I mean, somebody would have to stay with the craft here.
That's a very valid point.
Were you bringing your two goons with us, Argus?
I have you know, these are very skilled gentlemen, and I take quite the issue with you calling them goons, Mr. Fisk.
Well,
Ned, Sterling, are you goons? Yes.
Oi!
they're good lads, but they are goons.
Out to be, sir.
Let the men speak for themselves, I suppose.
Yeah, they would be coming with us. The rest of the engineering crew is preparing the launching mechanism for the craft itself. I mean, it's not like a winch that we would just wheel down to the water. It's more like I picture it as almost a slingshot kind of a deal.
That's a mighty elastic.
You're going to get like initial lift off from shooting yourself. Airborne?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, with and I would go on to try to explain this in the simplest terms possible. for Charlie's benefit. Essentially, we cannot ignite the propeller while we are on deck. We are going to have to free fall a bit.
What was that?
Nothing. It's perfectly safe, I assure you.
You said we would be falling.
Short jaunt. I assure you, this will work.
And if it doesn't?
Yeah. There's only the.
I would say it was a pleasure serving with you.
Very well, then.
You're all right, Fisk. You're looking a little green.
I'm just fine. It was something I ate for lunch.
He's not a fan of dying.
I'll pick up like a probably opened bottle of rum that we have down here. Kind of like swig it and hold it in the light. Here, this might help you.
Eats it, like opens it, and just starts like turning the bottle like straight upside down and just guzzling.
It's like the obnoxious bubble noises. This is like a fish tank. Like, good God, Fisk! I said take a drink.
He stops and kind of, yes. And he hands it back to Charles.
There's like a little bit left. I kind of like finish it off
while they're drinking.
Jesus, rude.
I would be discussing with Jephthah and Marcellus and ready them for my mark. Turn to the group and say, gentlemen, Jephthah, Mock, and should I roll anything?
Yeah, you're going to roll an operating check as soon as he, I guess, releases this catapult that, to shove you off, fling you in the air. So you're going to roll an operating check.
Okay, so that would...
So this is where you're going to have that setback. So you have a setback. So you have one black die. Difficulty would be 2 purple.
For some reason, I don't have any ranks in operating. I thought that I would, but I guess that I don't.
I am pretty sure you took them when last time.
Yeah, I thought I put 2 ranks into it at the beginning.
Yeah, what do you have right now on your character sheet?
For operating? Nothing.
No, for any skills.
I have mechanics, navigation, vigilance, and melee. Geography and lore.
I would just like to say that this is the absolute best moment for you to discover this.
So you still get to roll. It's based
Argus isn't even sitting in the cockpit.
It's based
Good
on
luck,
your
everyone.
intellect. That's right. So your intellect is 3. So you would have 3 green dice at this point. You can use a story point to upgrade one of those green dice into a yellow.
I'm going to do that.
Okay. So you have 1 yellow, 2 green, 2 purple, and a black.
Yes. Okay. Well, I have. Let me just pull up my core book again.
Yeah, that combat summary sheet that I put in the chat
Yeah, I
That
should probably
has-
open that one.
Yeah, that has what cancels, what each symbol means, and what they cancel.
Okay. So I have 2 threats, 2 failure, 2 successes, and 1 advantage.
So that would mean you fail with a threat. So as this device is being
Like we're gonna
pulled
fall.
back, no, it doesn't even go off. Whatever you had to like do the slingshot snaps, and
Oh no!
you don't even move. Like it does not even fling the boat anywhere. You're still on deck. The mechanism you had to launch yourself off is broken.
I think
Okay.
Fisk is like face is like all squinched up, like his eyes are like tightly shut. Is it over yet?
I imagine that we start to kind of shake as the tension is building, and we're preparing for launch. And Fisk is squinching his face, and Scheffley is grinning like a madman, and then nothing, like not a pop, not a nothing. We just stop shaking, and we start to look around, and I yell, "The hell, Jephthah!"
I don't know, sir. It just like snapped in my hand.
You can't blame your assistants for your own misdoings. You're not even sitting in the right spot.
Quiet, Charlie. Let the professionals deal with the mechanisms, far beyond a man of...
I'm nervous now. I'm wearing a vest of your design. Am I going to pull this lever and it's not going to work? No, I think this is a valid point. Fisk, what do you think? Should I take this off?
Well, I wasn't a big fan of you putting it on in the first place, Charles.
Now, we're not going against the plan.
Marcellus, Nicodemus, and Jephthah, all 3 run below deck to start investigating the failed mechanism on why this did not have the glorious launch that Mr. Scheffley had envisioned.
Well, this was a short mission, and I was getting all excited.
No worries, Nika. We'll get this figured out. I assure you. This is a minor setback.
I would hate to see what you think a major setback is.
She has a point, you know.
I tend to agree with that statement. As we're still breathing, minor.
I think Fisk has sat down and like produced this small container of like mustache wax, and he's like kind of nervously like grooming his mustache and like twirling the ends of it, like not knowing what to do in this situation, because he certainly doesn't want to wait because his nerves are just like completely rattled, and it's just making it take even longer.
Is there any way I can aid or help get us fired?
Sure, I was just gonna say you can make a mechanics check. If you want to, Argus, if you want to make the mechanics check for your boys down below.
Okay.
And if anybody else wants to add to the mechanics, they could roll to see if.
I think that Nicola will as well.
Okay, so each of those before Argus makes his mechanics check, each of you who want to, you can make a mechanics check yourself, and if you get a success, it will give a boost die to his roll.
Yeah, I actually have mechanics. I don't know why, but I do.
Is there any potential detriment to trying to help?
Well,
only if
depends
Charlie
on how
tries.
badly you fail. Yeah.
Because I have a single die that I could roll, and I'm not sure that I want to throw that in the mix or not.
So is there any purple, or is it just the green and the yellow?
It would be 2 purple against 2 purple. Yeah.
Okay. I got 2 success and 1 advantage.
Oh, well. So I would say with that, you definitely we'll give him 2 boost die for that.
2 yellows or 2 blues?
2
blues
to add to your.
That's right.
Yeah. So this time you'll have 3 green dice and 2 purples and 2 boost die. Was anybody else? Oh, so sorry, this is mechanics. You're making mechanics. Sorry. Yeah. So mechanics is what? You're 2 yellow and a green?
Yeah, 2 yellows and a green.
Yeah. With against 2 blue against 2 purple.
Yes. All right. I feel much better about this roll. Yeah, at least I did. I have
Jason, you're muted if you're telling us what your roll was.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
You're muted, so I don't know what you got for your roll, your mechanics roll.
Oh, I'm so very sorry. 3 advantage, 2 success, 3 threats.
Okay, so that cancels out. So you are left with 2 success. So, let's say with the extra success, we would definitely give you a boost die on your next operating check to have this thing run.
Okay, cool. I would have a blue on top of my 3 green.
Yes.
All right. That works. I'll take it. And should I roll that now? Okay. Do I still have the black, or is it just the 2 purples?
It's just the 2 purples. That black was just that one, the first check.
Excellent. Hold on to your cheek meat. All right. That is 3 successes, 2 advantage, 1 fail, 1 threat.
Sorry, how many successes? 3, you said?
3 successes, 2 advantage.
Okay, and then you had 1 failure, so that leaves you 2 success and 1 advantage left when you do the canceling.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So this time, the mechanism works. It you pull back, and it does all that nice shaking, and all of a sudden, at the moment, there's this like pause, and you shoot forward, and you're flying through the air, and you have an advantage. So I'll let you describe what you want that to be.
Okay, so the craft would shoot out the side of the ship. I imagine one of my crewmen let out a scream like Goofy shooting off in the distance. The Yahoo! We start to fall with Mr. Fisk in the front of the ship. The nose dips a little bit as we start to descend towards a raging river or raging water going across the rocky embankments down below. Scheffley engages the mechanism to start the rotor, which fails at first, and we start to dip down a little further. And then as as we are almost descending straight down, I engage it again, which ignites, and we fall a little faster as Scheffley pulls up, and the boat flies up above the deck, ascending towards the. I'm sorry, what was the name of that other ship? The Justice, the Fight for Justice. And I'd rather say that Scheffley poses a regal stance as we ascend to the heavens.
And I would like to ask Nicola, what are your thoughts of this launch?
She lets out this like intake of air when the launch first happens, and then all the maneuvering and the nose dip, and she is holding on to the sides of the ship. Her eyes are they're not shut, but they're kind of squinting. She doesn't want to close them. She wants to be able to see everything, but this huge grin is plastered across her face.
Bronson, what's going through Mr. Fisk's head?
I think that there is, again, the squinched up face, and then that moment of uncertainty happens right before the launch, and he has just enough time to kind of and then they like shoot off the edge of the ship, and he's probably just screaming like through the entire dive. And I imagine like his mustache is probably like, whipping against the cheeks of his face, and they're just, like
uncurling.
Yes, like as he's like plummeting from the front of this small lifeboat and like white knuckling the sides. And then they pull up, and he's just kind of, you could just like see his face just completely fall. And then, yeah, like as we're like peeling back up and heading up towards this ship, we can just kind of see him yelling, "Damn you, Argus!"
That's perfect. Charlie, what's Charlie doing?
I want to say I was sitting next to Fisk, and I'm kind of like making all these facial expressions as I'm like concerned that he might throw up on me. But other than that, I'm kind of like casually like picking at a nail.
You're inching away on the seats from him, like
adjusting my belt's kind of like, it's kind of heavy. My coat's kind of stuck in the door. I'm fine. This is fine.
So now that you've launched, it's unlike trying to take one of these bigger ships through these aisles. There's a lot of room for this tiny little vessel that you're in, so it's quite easy to maneuver and make your way up. Argus, I'd like you to describe to me how you were approaching the bite.
Okay, how far up from the top of the teeth is the bite?
Okay, so you're going to have to translate this for me, because I'm going to say it was like 400 meters. So that's what, yards almost?
Roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah, down here in America.
We play with Imperial.
You're right. It's an Imperial ship. I should have known.
So I know you made this setting, but just so you know.
Okay, so we would shoot almost straight up out of the teeth, where I would level it out and kind of skim the top of the teeth. The entire time, Argus is singing the equivalent of this world's Ride of the Valkyrie. As we approach where the we would be directly below the Bite for Justice, where I would start to ascend again in tornadic fashion, circling around as we ascend, trying to keep the turn radius tight to stay out of sight. I would try to bring us to where the anchorage opening is along the front of the ship there, or perhaps a cannon opening porthole. Oh, Fortuna, yeah, that'll work.
So there is, you were talking, there's like one cannon almost at the front of the ship. There's like a hole where one of the cannons would be shooting out. Is that what you're aiming for?
Yes. If we could fit bodies through that, then yes.
I would say definitely. I mean, as you approach, I mean, if the cannons aren't sticking out the hole, then it's going to be easy for any of you to get in. If, however, the cannon is actually still sitting there, Mr. Fisk and Argus might have a little bit of an issue.
I don't like what you're insinuating, GM.
Get over it. Maybe you shouldn't have taken 2 rations last time.
Okay. Should I leave it to the dice to decide if it has a cannon poking out or not?
I'm actually going to use a story point and give it back to you and say there is a cannon sticking out.
Okay, then. As we pull up, wind is ripping through us. The front propeller at this point is just launching gale force winds at us. And I would be yelling at both Sterling and Ned to see about making way for us to enter. I guess they are going to stay with the boat.
Okay, so you approach the Bite. I would like somebody, it can be any of you, somebody give me a stealth check. So you can talk amongst yourselves who has the best, but somebody is going to roll me a stealth check.
Charlie, this sounds like your alley.
I'm kind of good at this. So if I have 1 rank in it, I just roll 3 green and 3 purple.
So your agility is 3, is that right?
My agility is 3, yes.
Yeah, and then I'm sorry, and your stealth is 1 rank?
Yep.
Yeah, so you'd have 1 yellow, 2 greens. I'm going to make this just 1 purple. And it is dark, or at least it's twilight, so you're going to get a blue die, boost die as well.
So if you ever ask me to roll 3 purple, I'm going to promptly tell you no.
Okay.
Simply because I cannot. I'm just kidding. Of course I will. Oh my god. 3 advantage, 1 success.
Beautiful. Okay, so you guys managed to, even with the singing and the screaming, managed to approach this ship relatively quietly. And as far as you know, nobody on that ship has seen you approach. I mean, you're coming from it from below, so it's not like they're looking for you. You have 3 advantage. So let's say with that you get a nice I'm not going to say docking, but you approach close enough and at the right speed where you kind of just gently bump into their ship, and you can secure yourself to it relatively easily. What are you guys going to do?
So I imagine without being able to go through this front port, we're setting down on the foredeck. Is that right?
Argus, what did you decide?
If we weren't able to go into that porthole, then we would have to. I would have to navigate the craft up to the railing of the deck, the top deck, and we would have to go over there and act as if everything is normal.
Okay, so I imagine that we probably start mooring ourselves to the little decorative rail posts. It looks like there are on the front there, kind of just below the railing. Maybe even kind of amongst those cables and stuff to kind of hide our ship a little.
I would say that both Ned and Sterling could take the craft below.
Oh, there you go.
The below the Justice and stay completely out of sight.
That's a good idea. Maybe do you have some kind of signal whistle or something to call them?
That is a good point.
They're called grenades.
When shit starts blowing up, you pull up front.
They'll know.
They'll know. They're good boys.
Good lads.
Okay, so I guess then Fisk will stand up in the life craft kind of uneasily and peer through these openings in the decorative railing to kind of see if there's anybody in the immediate vicinity before he's gonna commit to crawling on board.
You mean we all don't just go barreling over?
No, sir.
So I believe this is a perception check, Mr.
Perception. Perception, Mr. Fisk. It's all perception. Okay, this is cunning. I have 2 in that, but no ranks in perception itself.
So
How many purple?
I mean, I do have a rank in perception if we want to metagame this.
Yeah, it's fine with me. Yeah.
I would, if you want to roll, that's fine.
I mean, if you are more apt at being a lookout than I am, then I probably would have let you do it in the first place.
I think overall, I'm pretty good at a lot of stuff we're about to do.
Go for it.
So yeah, it would be 2 purple.
Okay.
I add a boost die, a blue die. Because
Can do.
yeah, they're not expecting you.
Okay, so 1 success, 1 advantage.
Okay, so you managed to see that on deck, probably about midway, there are a couple of crewmen kind of chatting amongst themselves. It doesn't look like there's very many people up on board at the moment. They're probably down in the hold somewhere. They're probably the lookouts, but they're not paying attention. And they're currently talking to one another. And you have an advantage, so you can describe what you would like for that.
Can they be drinking?
Sure.
Would that be an advantage?
Yeah, they are drinking and talking to each other and not paying attention to you guys at all.
Can I also spend a story point and say that it's starting to rain?
Yes.
Bold move, sir.
Yes.
I think right as we kind of dock on this, you hear the of water kind of hitting our hull as Yeah, this is like where O Fortuna starts playing. You know, it's like these guys are silently drinking and we kind of lurk overboard like fucking shadows in the night, I guess.
That's perfect. Yep. And it's starting to rain and the wind is starting to pick up.
Would they be near the railing? Like close enough to maybe take a short fall?
You're muted,
I would
Karen.
say, yeah, sorry. I would say they are more around like the middle of the boat. In the picture, you can see like all that flat deck. They're probably closer to where the cabins are about to start. That's kind of they're sitting over there versus.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No assassinations today.
And if you guys want, we could stop right here for a little bio break.
That would be perfect. Thank you. So 5?
Yeah, be back in 5.
Well, before the break is taken, I'd like to say, Karen, you're doing a fantastic job.
Oh, thank you.
For
Absolutely.
for your live show that I'm a part of and certainly feel honored to be so.
Well, thank you guys. This is a blast. I'm having a lot of fun. You guys are killing it.
Just wait, there's more.
And we will be back in 5.
I have returned for all of you lucky viewers. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, everybody. Hope you're all having fun. This is so much fun. I love this. Just being able to be a pirate is always exceptional fun and very, very high on my list of things I love doing in a role-playing game. So I'm really excited to be able to do it, especially with all this weird steampunk gadgetry and shit. So. Karen, yes, you were doing a wonderful job.
You guys are so much fun.
It is.
Oh, I'm having a blast.
When given the option to be a pirate, always be a pirate.
Right?
True.
Man, my house is smelling so good right now. Leah's roasting a chicken and some veggies. We're going to have a good dinner.
Nice. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, can't go wrong with roast chicken.
Oh, man. Jimmy made some chicken salad for lunch. It was fantastic. I haven't had that in a while.
Right on.
We're doing that and eating some, or playing some Nightmare Before Christmas Munchkin. We're going to finish that up after this game's done. So.
Oh, no. That sounds amazing.
It was a great time so far. I'm whooping their asses.
Yeah, we freaking love Munchkin in this house.
Yeah, it's such a good game.
It is.
And I love that they make all of their expansions all able to work together.
Yeah.
So if we got the Marvel one, we could end up having Oogie Boogie wielding Captain America's shield. That's just fantastic. Why would you not want to play something like that?
That's the silliness of Steve Jackson games, man. They also put out a chess variant called Nightmare Chess that I'm a huge fan of.
There's a board game of theirs that I've eyed several times in my local gaming store. It's called Castelon, something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen it. I've never played it though.
It's got little pieces, plastic pieces of castle that look like they kind of puzzle fit together, and it looks like you build areas or something. I don't know exactly how it works, but it looks cool.
Right on. Yeah, I've seen the packaging, but I've never played it.
Me either.
Occasional board game night around here.
Oh man, I'm a board game fiend.
Lots of Catan going on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm actually looking at my Settlers of Catan. I have the Seafarers expansion.
Yep.
In the little yellow box. I don't remember which one that is.
It's the Knights, isn't it?
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, the Cities and Knights.
Yeah, something like that.
I really like that one, but it makes the game so much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Depends on who you're playing it with.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed it though, because it adds a whole nother layer. I like the Seafarers too.
Mm-hmm.
Getting out and going on the ships. But yeah, the Cities and Knights is a really good expansion. It changes the game a lot more than the other ones do.
Takes the shift away from the normal way it's played.
Yeah, because now you want to build the cities, you want to start, acquiring tech and
yeah.
While I was in Washington for AtCon this year, I picked up a civilization game, A New Dawn, and we've been playing that a little bit. That's a whole lot of fun.
Nice. It looked like a cool game. Pretty sure I was.
Yeah.
There's
I believe you were.
There's it's like a haunt of something. I don't want to say Hill House because that's a show. But it's like a board game where you build the house.
The trail at or the Betrayal at the House on the
Yeah.
Hill?
Yeah,
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 something
That's
like
what
that.
it's called. Yeah.
Played that a couple times. That's a fun game.
I have Mysterium is one of my favorites. It's a really fun game. It's kind of like a blending of Dixit and Clue.
Oh,
Really
Oh,
fun
nice.
games in themselves.
I love Dixit.
Yeah. And then my friends found a game at PAX South like 2 years ago called Dice Throne, which is amazing. It's a fantastic little game.
Cool. Both my older kids love Dungeon. Love it.
It's a fun one.
I want
Yeah.
to play Buck Rogers again.
I don't think
It's
I've ever heard that.
It's like Risk, but in space.
Awesome.
It's hard because like you have to track the planetary movements, and you can move.
Oh, wow.
It's not hard because there's like a little dial there in the
It's
in
just
the
complex.
middle. It's a little bit more complex. You can build they're called Jennies. They're like genetically altered humanoids that like based on what planet you're on, they can do different things. So like humans from Earth can produce more resources. Jennies from Mars are more resilient. Jennies from Mercury are more energy resistant. Stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
All right. So, shall we get back to it?
Please.
All right. So, you guys had just got up to the ship, and you were about to, I don't know, do whatever it is that you guys wanted to do. I will leave it in your capable hands. What are you guys doing?
Gonna roll up on this boat like a boss. Go ahead, Charlie.
I just said capable was the wrong word.
Well,
Perhaps.
maybe. We'll see, I guess, right?
And it was established that we couldn't kind of like assassinate these guys with ease, right?
Yeah, they are half a ship length away from you. Like, you guys are at the front of this ship, as far as I know. That's where you went over the railing, or about to go over the railing if you do. And they are back by the cabin entrance.
So they're like midship?
Yeah, they're definitely midship.
How, like, what is the length of this ship without the propeller on the front? Like, what is the like basic deck length that we're looking at? Scale wise,
it is probably twice the size of your ship in length and twice the size in width as your guys' ship. So this thing is massive. I'm not going to give feet because that'll I don't know. I don't know how many feet that is. It's just huge.
Okay. So when we get, well, I guess they deal in range bands with this game. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So when we get on the deck, how far would these gentlemen be from us as far as range bands are concerned?
Definitely long range.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. So I imagine Fisk is one of the first, if not the first, over the railing. He's not super keen on being in this little tiny boat. He doesn't feel very safe. And as I think his heavy boot falls kind of thud down, he kind of leans over and kind of takes a look around and then leans over. Hurry, let's go. And he'll offer a hand to anybody that might need it getting over the railing.
Before Argus gets off the boat, I give my instructions to Sterling and Ned. And right before I leave, I say, await my signal, and you'll know what to do.
Sir. And then who's going next?
I think Nicola would come up, accepting Mr. Fisk's hand, and will just kind of looking about just this wide-eyed.
Charles.
I'll follow third.
These uniforms that we've got, these Imperial uniforms, would these be lower ranking uniforms, or would it be a mixed mash of ranks?
Most likely, these are all lower ranks, like they'd be the enlisted men. Those are probably all taken and kind of taken off the dead bodies of the people that you've, killed in over time.
I think that if anybody has rank amongst these uniforms, it's probably Nicola's.
Yeah. Yes.
Because it will probably be the smallest. Officers are probably not quite as, large and fit as a lot of the other men. So I expect this shabby, loose, maybe not like an officer, but like a ranked private.
Yeah, one of the ones who like the instead of like an enlisted man, he's the one who got the position, the officer position or whatever from because of his standing in society.
Right. Yeah, like his schooling.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love that.
I think ironically mine is the exact same position I was before, just like a rigging rat. I'm like, you see, and there's this cool medal that I got, and someone pipes in that's actually the Imperial rigging medal. God damn it. I knew I liked it, but
So, do we have to go in the opposite direction of the men? Because they're more towards the middle and we want to get to the front? Is there like a door or?
So you are, if you go over the railing, you are at that top deck there. That the base of that propeller is kind of like right there in the front of the ship. It's probably within, 20 feet from you. And they are, all the way midship.
So they're in the opposite direction of where we
Yeah.
want to be.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a door? Or I guess we're on the top deck, so we'd have to go down to be able to see if there was a door, right?
Yeah, it looks like stairs there that might lead to a cabin door that we could go into the forecastle.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Stairs down and then you are standing on some sort of deck, so there's most likely some sort of room right below you.
So I think Nicola would start making her way very carefully. She sees that they're not really paying attention, but she is just kind of sticking close to the railing as she makes her way down the steps.
Yeah, Fisk will follow up right behind Nicola and mount the steps down as well, right behind her, kind of keeping a wary eye towards where these men are drinking and talking.
The other two follow.
I think I take up the rear.
Yes. And Argus is putting on an air that we know exactly what we're doing and where we're going.
Okay, so Nicola, you get down to the main deck, and Fisk, you're right behind. And I'm using a story point here. Just as Argus, he's got this air going on, like he knows what he's doing. He misses the last step, and he stumbles, and he makes a noise, and it is loud enough that the two guys on deck turn and look at you.
I think I'm the only one still up there. And I actually turn away from going downstairs and turn to approach them. Good gods, man, what the hell was that?
Argus would immediately throw his head over the side and heave like he is puking over the side, like he is very, very drunk.
Oh, couldn't hold his booze, fellas. Go ahead. I got it. Kind of notioning to the guys that are now paying attention to us.
I would like you to make me a
Deception
check. Yeah.
All right.
Both of us, or just Charlie?
Just Charlie. We'll use just Charlie. He can have a boost die because you are giving him like a reason there.
So I have 2 ranks on top of my 4 cunning. So how does that work?
So you would have 2 yellow dice,
2 green,
and 2 green, and you're going to have 1 boost die, so the blue die, and you are going against it'll be 2 red in this case.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's some serious consequences here. All right, wish me luck. Boy, I am so successful. I got 3 success, just flat out. 4 success.
So they basically like look at you and you say this out to them and they kind of, they've got this look that crosses their face and then they just kind of hold up the bottle that they're drinking and kind of nod to you and go back to talking.
I actually still have the bottle that Fisk finished from earlier.
Okay.
And kind of like shrug with it like, yeah, he took too much rum. Couldn't handle it.
Perfect. Yeah. So they go back to talking to themselves and kind of ignoring you.
How many was there? 2?
Yeah, there was 2 of them.
Okay. Get it together, Argus.
Damn rickety Imperial stats. Damn it. Twisted my damn ankle. Let's go.
Fisk will have moved over to where this door is, underneath the forecastle, and he's going to put an ear to it. Or if there's a window, he's going to look through that. Either way,
No window, but you can definitely try and listen through the door.
he will look in. So
that would be a perception. Yeah.
Okay, so that is cunning, which I have 2 in, but no ranks in perception.
And it begins 2 purple.
2 purple. All right. Well, let's see. Hey, okay. Those are not successes. Those are advantages, I think. The Star Trek symbol.
Yeah, those are advantage.
Yeah. Okay, so no successes and 3 advantages.
Okay, so you cannot hear anything through the door. It's a big solid door, wood, and there's just nothing going through it.
The loud whir of engines, maybe?
Maybe is just overpowering. That's all you hear. Yeah. But you have 3 advantage that you could describe something.
Okay, let's see. I have the cheat sheet here. 3 advantages. Negate target defense, ignore environment for 1 turn, disable opponent or gear instead of... Damn, oh, that's typically in combat. I think for 3 advantages, I don't know if this is too much or not, but I think for the advantages, maybe the door either isn't locked or doesn't have the capability of being locked.
Let's say the door is not locked. As you're listening to it, you go to try it, and it is not locked.
I think Fisk kind of opens it part way and then kind of looks over his shoulder, almost in surprise, at Nicola, who I don't imagine is like too far away.
No, she's like right over your shoulder. Like you could almost like feel her breathing because she's just so excited, like so into this. Is it all clear?
So far, the door seems to be open. Let's take a peek inside, shall we? And he kind of will poke his head in, look around.
So you see a room that's just filled with gadgets and contraptions and pipes and all sorts of mechanical gear. And do you have any ranks in mechanics?
No, it is a class skill, but I have no ranks in it.
Okay, so you can tell that this is obviously just like the mechanics to help the propeller run. Like this is the gear room. This is where it's all going to go down. Nicola, you can also see this. You have a little bit more mechanical knowledge.
Yeah, she does have a rank in mechanics.
Yeah, so you can, even just from your cursory glance that you're seeing here, you can tell whereabouts the main component is of this room. Like, imagine, if you will, you've got all these pipes coming down from above, and they're going all over everywhere. They're crisscrossing and everything. But you, Nicola, can tell through all this chaos that they're all kind of leading towards like the front and center of this room. That's where you're going to find the main mechanism that's running this propeller.
Nicola would kind of point towards, over Mr. Fisk's shoulder, point towards that spot. I think we're supposed to put the grenades there.
I would be able to lend my expertise to that, right?
Yeah, as soon as you, if you're going in as well, you would be able to see exactly what Nicola has seen, and yeah, you'd be able to agree with her, if you will, that is where you're wanting to go.
Okay. Yeah, Argus would look to Charlie and say, "Is he pointing to several different spots on the mechanism here? If we could attach here and here, I believe this would be a very quick success."
I think I actually still have you like propped up from your sprained ankle.
Yeah.
And I would look to you like, you got your knife?
And I would unsheath it.
And I would take the coat off, and like obviously there's this bandolier of grenades, and it's like, go ahead, cut me down the middle. I'll take one half, you take the other.
All right. And Argus would split the what would be the sternum of the gorilla chest. We would attach or wrap that around several are different here. Would that require a roll or just time?
Time at this point, but I am going to stop you there and have everyone make a perception check, please. Who was the last through the door as well?
Probably me.
What
Yeah, it would definitely be.
What were you doing with the door as you went through?
I literally had like let go of Argus and pulled my coat off and turned towards the door. I hadn't shut it yet.
Okay. So yes, perception checks against 2 purple.
Whew. So perceptive.
I got 1 success.
Okay.
I got 3 success, 1 disadvantage.
Mine was bad. I had 1 advantage, no success, 1 failure, and 2 threats.
Okay.
And I rolled 4 dice and somehow came out with an exact watch.
Okay. So, Argus, you are so busy looking at the mechanics in this room. And you're actually probably talking a little bit, so you're a little bit noisy. That you don't really notice anything but these mechanics. Mr. Fisk, you are watching where Nicola is pointing, and you're kind of a little bit distracted about all these pipes and stuff, and so you don't really see anything as well. But Nicola, you notice that you are not alone in this room. There are 3 guys in this room who obviously are their engineers for this ship, and they are right kind of where you want to be. Charlie, you also notice this at the same time, and you notice as well that the 2 guys that were on the deck in midship there, they see you, and you see that they are now walking quite quickly towards where you are as well. So with that, I'm going to have everybody make a vigilance check because you were not prepared. And this will be initiative to do the initiative order.
Okay. A vigilance check would involve.
I got
So vigilance is will.
how many purple? Did we roll purple?
No purple on this one. You just roll
Is it just
straight
whatever?
check. Yeah, and you
Okay.
tell me how many successes and how many advantage you get.
I got 3 successes.
What if I got a nothing?
Then you're nothing. Okay.
Okay.
You don't even get to play.
No. Yeah, kick me.
You're nothing.
That's harsh. You're nothing.
I got 2 advantages.
Argus got. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What did Argus get?
3 successes and 1 advantage. I didn't mean to talk over Jeremy. I'm sorry.
Okay, so what we have for initiative is we have a player spot, NPC slot, player slot, NPC, and then 2 players. Okay, so that brings us to the very first slot, which is a PC slot. So one of you can decide who wants to go first.
Argus, not knowing what's going on, paying attention, and probably will be last in this order. Nicola, maybe?
So I think that Nicola would. She would immediately stiffen and she's going to quickly look back at Charlie and Argus and to see if they noticed these guys and what to do, because she doesn't know.
I think Argus would be a bit distracted still, so maybe I'm the one that's making eye contact with you. And it's kind of that same, forlorn look that I had before we left, and it kind of translates to, you got to handle it, as I'm letting go of Argus because I am obviously about to handle something else.
You see Nicola's eyes just kind of widen in fear at that look. But she immediately nods as she straightens up and she just walks into the room. What is the meaning of all of this? Why are you guys here? I told you needed to be below, I guess, in the in the mess hall about 10 minutes ago. Why aren't you there?
Okay, so we are going to make a... Oh, are you trying to charm them or deceive them? Like,
I would think
I'll let you call on one of those.
I think she's probably being pretty deceptive.
This would also go with leadership too, if you're trying to be commanding. So I'll let you.
I think because she's not their leader, it would be her trying to come across as that. So I think it would be deception.
Okay, so roll your deception versus their vigilance.
So any purple or just the...
So in this case, it's going to be, there's 3 of them. So it's going to be 2 red, 1 purple, and then whatever your skills are. And I will actually give you a boost because you are the one with the officer uniform.
Actually, do we have story points?
You have 2 left, yep.
Because I have a thing that lets me use my intelligence instead of any other trait, I think. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, so once per session, your character may spend a story point. If they do so during the next check they make during that turn, you count their ranks in the skill being used as equal to their intellect.
Okay, yeah. You want to do that?
Yes, because I'm very bad at cunning. So
okay, so now your deception is going to use intellect instead of cunning, basically,
Yes.
is what we're doing.
Cool as hell. What is the name of that talent?
Brilliant.
Oh, of course.
We went over this already.
I'm brilliant and I'm 34. Oh dear. Okay. Well, that's 1 failure and 2 advantage.
And you rolled the boost die as well?
Oh, no. Whoops. So that's... Oh, crap. Okay. So... Sorry, the success cancels out the failures, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so then that cancels out the failure, and now I have 3 advantage.
So they do not believe you, right? So they don't believe you're deceiving, your deception there. But you have 3 advantage that you could do something with. Social. And you don't have to use a social encounter one because you are also kind of in a combat situation. So,
okay. Can I use it where they don't, because it says conceal your true goal. So they know that I'm lying, but they don't know.
Yeah, so okay, so they know
They-
you're lying, but they're not
don't
actually
recognize that you're-
suspicious of you yet.
Yeah, I was
So
going to say
they're-
they don't recognize you as not being a part of the crew.
Yeah. So they don't know that I'm not part of the crew, but they know that I'm lying.
Yeah, they don't know why you're telling them to get to the mess hall because they are supposed to be here, but so they're confused, but not overly suspicious.
Okay.
So that'll bring us to an NPC slot. The two guys outside this room will take their turn to actually move and close. So it'll take, I believe, their entire turn to go from long range to short range, I believe is how it is. So,
Oh, they know that something's up, I guess.
yeah, as soon as,
I mean, as
door.
soon as they hear someone throwing up, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take care of him, and I take him into the engine room.
Sorry, yeah, I believe it takes their entire turn to get from long range to medium range. Sorry. Yeah, so it takes them their entire turn to get from the long range to medium range. That is where they end. And so now we are to a PC slot.
I think maybe Charlie needs to go. Like, we need to get that door shut, and so maybe even Fisk. Like, is like talking's a free action still? I'm assuming.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Fisk will turn around. Charlie, the door. Charles, the door, please.
Way ahead of you. Way ahead of Fisk. And I'm actually going to hand you my second, like, half of vest. Argus has one half. I'm going to give you my other half. And I'm going to walk out of the door and shut it behind me.
Okay, so you're going to go out of the room and shut the door behind you. Perfect. Anything else?
Now-
Because you still have an action.
Yes. So moving, would it take my full movement to get to them?
They are now medium range, so it would take one maneuver to get to short range and then another maneuver to engage.
And I only have one.
Yeah. Because I would say you've already kind of used one to hand off the vest
That's
and
fair.
leave
That's
and close
fair.
the door. Yeah.
I am going to go upstairs, or I'm going to go within reason as far as I can go with maintaining a single maneuver. I'm going to go upstairs and kind of like, maybe there is still a blood spot on my jacket from where this guy got shot. And I'm kind of like brushing at it like, motherfucker got puke on me. God damn it. Do you guys know where a bucket is or something? I need to get this stain out of the captain's going to kill me. And obviously I'm lying, but I'm trying to invoke my silver tongue here. But I'm also going to use my touched by fate to give myself 2 blue die.
Okay, go for it.
So this is, I would imagine, a deception.
Yes, deception. And against these guys, it will just be 2 red.
Oh, okay. So that leaves me with 2 yellow, 2 green, 2 blue, and 2 red.
Yep.
Go big or go home, right? Or go off board or whatever. Oh dear. Okay. So I'm walking. I have 2 advantage.
Okay, so you do not succeed. They are not buying it this time. They are still coming towards you, but you have 2 advantage to spend.
Can I use that to advantage? Actually, I probably should look at the sheet before I make a bold move here.
Oh, go bold. Be bold.
Well, if I can make more out of the situation than what I intend to, that's what I intend to do.
Free maneuvers, one of them. If you were trying to close with him.
Can I have like pulled out those manacles and like gotten a little closer?
Use your 2 advantage to pull out your manacles and move towards them?
Concealing my, grasp of these manacles while like kind of like, pay attention to this hand while I fuck with this hand kind of thing. And I'm pulling out those manacles.
Sure. That is what you're doing. Yes. And they were medium, so now they're short range to you. And that goes to NPCs, the guys in the room. They look at you, Nicola, and they're like, What are you doing here? It's not time for a change.
Do I respond? I'm not.
You can if you want to. It's complete. Yeah.
Okay.
They're not arming themselves or anything. They are just. They now are paying full attention to you, and they haven't seen anybody else at this point.
So, with how they're seated, are they at a table? Like, is there food or drinks in front of them?
No, they're working. So they have like their, these wrenches and mechanical devices in their hands. Like they were working in here on the machinery.
Okay. Oh, well, I guess you're not going to fall for that joke again. I guess you guys aren't new. Can't, God. You guys look like you've been working hard. Why don't you just take a break? And, we can take over for you if you'd like.
So they are going to, on their turn, make a perception check versus what would we have against you? Versus I guess basically your ranks in deception. What's your deception regularly?
So I only have 3. I have no ranks in them.
Okay, so you have 3. So they would be 3 purples to have a perception against you. Well, they got 2 triumphs and 3 disadvantage.
Oh,
so they see right through you.
Yeah, that's. I can imagine Nicola's just like stuttering, and she's like very nervous. She doesn't do this type of thing, so it's very obvious.
I think they will do something vital. But they also get 3 disadvantage. So I will let you choose. So the 3 disadvantage, you get to choose something that gives you guys a significant advantage in the upcoming the PC turn that's coming up. So that's what you guys can choose for the 3 disadvantage. However, on their triumph, they are going to do something vital. And I think at this point, they are going to raise the alarm, set off, basically like the clanging, there's an intruder on board. So that is what they're going to do with their triumph. What is the significant advantage that they have just given you?
I think that Nicola would look to both Argus and Mr. Fisk and shake her head like moments before this they sounded the alarm, which in some way can give them some, or one or both of them, some sort of, like, they know this is going south, so they can kind of ready themselves before. I don't know what kind of advantage.
So maybe significant advantage that they have turned away from the rest of you, so they will not know that you're there. You could sneak or whatever. You'll get bonus if you go after them, I guess.
They maybe have stepped away from where we need to get to. You
Yes.
said that they were like working on the thing that we needed to get to. Maybe they're
Yes. Yeah. So now
that's good.
they've left it free and clear for you guys to get to. They've abandoned that. It's available, but they are sounding the alarm. So that brings us to PC slot number 3.
With the advantage of them walking away to where we would need to be, would I be able to slip myself in there to wrap the rest of these grenades around the mechanism?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take that 3rd PC slot there and do that.
Okay, I want you, because you're doing this under kind of like a duress, I want you to make a mechanics check. In this case, skill difficulty 2.
Okay.
Stick with that.
Mechanics. That's 2 yellow, 1 green, 2 purple. Don't fail me now. Okay, so that is 2 advantage, 3 successes, 2 failures, and 1 threat. So it looks like I've got 1 success and 1 advantage left over.
Yes. So you manage to put these this half of the grenade vest around where you wanted it to go. You have an advantage. You can use it to recover a strain or add a boost, give a boost die to the next person that's going, or something along those lines.
But I tossed him the second half of Charlie's vest for that advantage.
Yes, I will even say that as he was going towards there, he
don't-
managed to pass you and grab it from you all in the wind. So he would have both halves, yeah. So, and I would even say, like, with that, they're both planted there. They're both ready to go.
They're both ready to go?
Yeah, like you have them both located. All you have to do now is pull the pins and run.
Can I absolutely do that? Pull the pins and urge. It is past time to go, gentlemen.
I will let you pull the pins. You will not be able to move at this point.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because you had to move there. But the next person that goes, I believe that is Mr. Fisk, who has not gone yet.
Correct. So what I would like to attempt to try, I have Bull Rush as a talent. And my notes say that after a brawl or melee combat check, after a maneuver, I think it's spend 3 advantages or 1 triumph to push 1 range increment away and then prone. I think is the way that that's supposed to work. So, if at all possible, we have 1 story point left. Is that right?
Yes, you have 1 story point.
Ooh. I don't know if I want to spend that on this. So what I'd like to attempt to do is basically come charging out from wherever it was I had kind of maneuvered myself, and basically just shoulder into one of these guys that might be closest to Nicola. And if at all possible, I'd like to knock him into 1 or more of the others.
Okay, so you're going to charge and fisticuffs one of the guys and hopefully knock him back into the others. That's your aim?
Yeah, it says after brawl or melee. The difference is brawl is like with fists and melee is weapons. Is that right?
Yeah, that's pretty much the difference. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess then what I'll do is actually lead my charge with the butt of my blunderbuss.
Okay, perfect. So you are going to attack the first guy with the butt of your blunderbuss. Yep.
With an attempt to knock him back, if at all possible.
Yep. So roll your melee attack. Difficulty is 2 for melee.
All right. So this is a brawn, so it's 4, but I have 3 ranks in it.
Yes. So you'd be 3 yellow, 1 green.
Okay, I'll have to re-roll 1 of my yellow. And you said it's 2 purple?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm giving you a boost because their back was turned away.
Oh, sweet. All right. There is definitely a gratifying amount of dice that you get to throw around in this game. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, I need to bring up my cheat sheet real quick because I cannot keep straight. All right. Threats cancel out advantages. But there's 1 success in that. Okay, so that's a net gain of 4 successes.
And did you get no advantage?
Nothing else at all.
So
the rest washed.
Okay, so I think your talent says you get to spend advantage. Is that how that was worded?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I have to spend 3 advantages or a triumph, I think.
Okay.
So yeah. So it doesn't seem like the bull rush will work, but
you definitely hit him. And you were hitting him with the butt of the gun.
Mm-hmm.
So so damage will be your brawn +1 plus the additional 3 that you got from your 4 successes. So
okay, cool. So my brawn is 4. You said +3,
and then +1 because of the weapon.
Okay,
I'm making you an improvised
8.
weapon. Yeah, so 8 damage is what you're doing.
There you go. Cool.
So you were attempting to bull rush this guy and push him back. However, your hit was so devastating. Actually caved the guy's head in. He crumples to the ground. There's now 2 of the guys standing there.
And did I have to perform a maneuver to engage him? I was close first and then move to engagement or whatever?
Yes. Yeah, you would have had to move to him.
Okay. So I won't have any. Okay, cool. Fisk just kind of looks at this guy as he goes down. Oh, well,
And that brings us back up to I lost PC slot. So anybody can take this PC slot. We're starting a new round.
Can I take this one? You guys mind?
Go ahead, Charlie.
I am going to try and manacle these guys, or actually, okay, I'm going to try and manacle one of these guys to the railing.
Okay. I would say make a brawl check as you try to grab him and put this manacle on.
Is there any way that I could maybe argue like a coordination or melee? If not, I'll roll brawn.
I would say do a brawl check, but you could make it using your dex because you're trying to grab him. Or not dex, the agility. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna try. How many purple?
2.
Red.
2 purple.
Well, I don't know if I've ever rolled this well before. I have 4 successes, 1 threat.
Okay, so you're not actually doing any damage to him. Unless you
Well, in
to.
all honesty, I wasn't trying to hurt him. I was simply trying to attach him to the ship.
Okay, so with 4 successes, you definitely have attached him to the ship. Say you've done more than just that. I think maybe
I've tied their shoelaces together.
but you do have a disadvantage, so that something's going to happen with that. But
I mean, for that, I feel like it's safe to say that the other guy is well within his means to hurt me.
Yeah. But for the additional successes, I'm thinking. Okay, so you definitely you latch the manacles on him. He's on the ship, and probably even in such a way that he can't do anything with his other hand. Like
I secured his left hand or right hand to the right side of the left side of the ship.
Exactly. He's like wrapped up in himself. He's like a little pretzel kind of thing going on here. So he is completely incapacitated. The disadvantage, however, is that I think in the process, you suffer a strain to do that.
Okay. I will let the record show that I had given myself some wounds from the previous encounter, so
you are hurt.
I have indeed.
Okay, so that brings us to an NPC slot. Well, let's just say we'll just do the guy who's there in front of you, Charlie. And he is going to, as soon as he sees that you are, for all intents and purposes, like locking up his drunk buddy, he pulls out his pistol and he is going to try to fire at you. Now, he is kind of close, so it'll add a difficulty to his die. Are you wearing, do you have any defense, range defense?
No, unfortunately, I only have melee defense.
Well, he rolled really bad, so We have 2 failures with 2 advantage. So he misses you completely, but manages to actually run away. He's going to put distance between you. So he's no longer kind of engaged with you. He's now at short range. He has turned tail and he is probably running for reinforcements. And that brings us to PC slot.
Argus, I think, would urge the rapid escape from this area as quickly as we possibly can. I would. Is Charlie in front of me? Wait, he just got fired on, right?
So you were actually away from keyboard at this point. Charlie is outside the room. The door between you and him is closed.
Oh.
So he's out on deck dealing with those 2 gentlemen that you saw before.
Oh, I got you now.
Yeah.
And he just got fired on? Did I hear that right?
Yes.
Okay, so hearing that, and Fisk is in here with me, and Nicola, right? Okay.
Yes, you have Fisk and Nicola with you, and you have armed those grenades that you put on the machinery.
All right. Seeing where Fisk had Fisk rushed the sailors that were in our way, I grabbed Nicola by the shoulder and urgently say, "We must go now."
Okay, so do you spend your action leaving the room, opening the door?
Yes, I want to move rapidly.
Okay, you can move 2 range bands. So basically, you can get to where you guys, you can get to where Charlie is. You can go where he is with the guy on the railing that he's manacled. Basically, that's kind of where you guys would have come in, roughly in the first place.
Okay. Do we have any more grenades?
Fisk has the 2 that he has, and who took the other 2?
Hunter, what did he do? Oh.
Charlie took the other 2.
Charlie took it.
Oh.
Okay, so Fisk is beside me, yes?
He's between you and the engineers.
Close.
So probably at least close, yeah.
Okay. I would like to snatch one of the grenades from him, if possible. Pull the pin and throw it overboard as a signal.
Can you guys hear me? Oh, good. I don't know if I muted myself or not. So as you're leaving the room, you're going to go past, or before you leave the room, you're taking a grenade from Fisk, and you're going to basically toss it overboard. That's your plan?
That is my plan, yes.
Okay. All right. So you won't be able to get as far, like you won't be able to get to where Charlie is to do all this unless you take 2 strain, in which case you can move all the way out and be right kind of where Charlie is and throw the grenade overboard.
This is a strain situation, so I will take all the strain I need to take.
Okay, yeah. So take 2 strain and you do that, and yeah, it goes off, luckily, as you wanted it to. So as it flies overboard, there's a few seconds, and then you hear the big boom from the grenade, and your signal has been given. That will bring us to NPC slot. Having just seen you caved in the head of one of the guys that he was working with, these other 2 turn to you, Fisk, and they've only got the tools in their hand at this point, but they are going to come at you with them. Do you have any defense?
I do not currently, because my sword is not drawn.
Okay. So they got 3 successes. So the one guy hits you, that's it. That's all. So you are going to take, was it 3 points? 5 points of damage minus your soak.
Soak is 4, so I'll take 1.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, you have got 2 guys on you armed with a wrench or pipe. You're not quite sure exactly. One of them's got like this long pipe thing with some sort of weird contraption at the end. And the other one's got really just a wrench. And it brings us to the next PC slot. Who has not gone yet?
Nicola. Are these guys in the way of their escape?
Not from where you are. Like,
But
you would
from anyone that she can see?
No, basically you are all between them and the door. Fisk is just further into the room because he's actually engaged with them. So you could leave if that's what you're wanting to do. Or you
Yes.
could, yeah.
Yeah, Nicola would head out, calling to Mr. Fisk to hurry and follow.
Yeah. How long of a delay did you put on these vest grenades?
How much time has passed?
We have 1 round that's passed, so
Would that be the standard, like 6 seconds?
yeah. So I'm thinking these are going to go off at the end of this round, unless.
Yeah, it wouldn't be much more than that.
Okay. All right. So Nicola, you are leaving the room. Were you doing anything else, or just move?
Moving, yeah. Moving away, far away, towards where they had been dropped off.
Okay. Last PC slot.
That is Mr. Fisk.
Yeah.
He will respond as Nicola turns to go. Be along in a moment. And he then kind of turns and backs away from these guys, kind of nursing this, like, probably like dislocated elbow, I think, on like his offhand. And like he's got it kind of curled up against himself and is just throbbing with pain, but he doesn't want these guys to realize that at this moment. So he just kind of backs away with the blunderbuss until he feels like he's kind of a safe distance from them for swinging, and then he turns and is going to run.
You are double moving as well to get out of the room. All right. Just 1 second, please. Okay, so perfect. So as you're leaving the room, the charges start to go off, and there's a huge, massive explosion in this little room. Concussive force is going to blow out of that door, splinters, etc. So I need the 4 of you to make either a coordination or survival. Well, not survival. Survival doesn't work. Coordination or an athletics check to somehow get out of the way. And we're going to make the difficulty 2.
I got a threat.
So no success?
No successes, just a threat.
I got 5 successes.
How did everybody else do?
I'm still trying to figure it out. Hang on just 1 second.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry.
That is
I'm
okay.
so bad at this. Okay. So I got 3 successes and 2 advantages.
3 success, 2 advantage. Sorry, and Charlie, you said you had 4 successes?
I had 5.
5 successes. Nicola, you got 1 threat. And what about Argus?
1 advantage.
1 advantage. Okay, so I'm just looking up these lovely bombs that you guys just set off.
The damage that you gave us for individuals was 8 with a crit of 3. If that helps you at all.
Yeah, and they also have a blast 5. Where is that? What does that mean? Okay, that is not going to apply. You're not engaged with it. Okay, so Charlie and Fisk, you both managed to jump out of the way enough that you can describe how you got away from the concussive blast of this, but the other 2 did not. So they are going to take damage.
Say that you wanted us to describe.
Yeah, you guys describe that while I'm adding up all the damage.
So I think that there's a gangplank like sitting nearby, like literally just this long, wide board that's probably, 10 feet long or whatever, and maybe, 4 feet wide or so. No, it wouldn't be 4 feet wide. Probably about a foot and a half wide. And Fisk kind of looks over and sees that and literally grabs it with his athletics and turns and kind of puts it between him and where this blast is going to come from, where he's expecting it to come from, and is going to kind of like lean into the board. It's just like expecting this concussive like wave to come out.
Cool. And Charlie, how are you escaping this blast?
I don't think I so much as escaped the blast as it is cushioned by the guy I manacled to the railing. And I actually like pushed this guy over, and he's now like dangling by his wrist.
I love it.
And I kind of like lean over like, walk away.
Okay. So at this point, I'm going to give you guys a story point. The storm has intensified. Arrived here, it was just the winds were, kind of gusting, and now the gusts are very strong, and the rain is starting to pelt down. The bell is still going off, the warning, and you can hear somewhat because it's kind of loud from the gale's force, but you can tell that men are awaking. They are starting to yell amongst each other, and they are preparing for something because they are awoken by this alarm that has gone off.
Does there seem to be any effect from the explosions so far?
At this point, yes, right. I kind of forgot about that. Yes, the explosion. It's definitely rock. There's a gaping hole where the that mechanical room used to be. You can actually, even if you wanted to look through the smoke and the dust and the debris, you could probably see, sky again. Like this room was destroyed. And in fact, just as you're kind of recovering from the blast itself, I forgot, Argus and Nicola, you're each going to take 6 wounds minus your soak.
Ow.
Yeah. As you're recovering, you can see like the ship all of a sudden kind of starts to, it jerks, like it kind of it doesn't fall at this point, but it has a kind of like, it makes like a jump, like almost like a little drop a little bit, and it's starting to list from the side. It no longer has that propeller in front of it.
Like the propeller is completely gone, like separated?
No, it is damaged. It's just not turning.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, some of the supports have fallen away as well, so it may not stay on the ship. It's hard to tell at this point. You can't really see what's going on, but it's definitely pulling the ship, though, to one side.
But it looks like we feel like we accomplished what we came here to do. Like
Absolutely.
the propeller is out of commission.
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay, so that brings us to, I guess there is one guy still around, so we will stay in combat. So PC slot.
Nicola's just booking it to the railing to where they had been dropped off.
Okay.
Is she able to get there, or?
Yeah, absolutely. You were very close to where it was in the first place. So if you look over, now, Argus, you said they were going to go below the ship. Is that where they were?
Yes.
Yeah. So they would probably be about halfway up the ship. So you could try to jump into.
Yeah, I think Nicola's gonna do that. She's gonna try and jump because that's metal, and yeah.
So she's gonna fling herself overboard. Awesome. So make a coordination or athletics check.
Your metal arm.
Pardon me?
I said, pull out Captain America and grab it with your metal arm.
Yeah, just down the side of the ship.
Awesome.
How many purple is that?
I'm going to say this is a hard check because you are trying to hit a very small boat.
This is true.
So that would be 3 purple.
In a storm.
Yeah. So athletics or coordination?
Oh, whoops. Okay. Just going to do an athletics.
And there is 2 story points if you wanted to upgrade a die.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll give me 1 yellow?
Yeah, it'll upgrade a green into a yellow. If you are all yellow already, then it would give you another die.
Okay. So that is 2 advantage.
Okay, so you miss the boat.
Okay.
With your advantage, I would like to say that with your metal arm, you managed to grab the boat, some part of the boat. You are dangling from your life craft with your metal arm.
I can imagine as soon as she grabs onto it, the boat just almost like turns completely over, but it manages to stable itself, and she's just kind of hanging off.
Yeah, you've kind of knocked the two guys who are they, Ned and Sterling? Is that their names?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, are kind of knocked to the floor of the boat because they weren't quite expecting you to be jumping down on top of them.
Their heads knocked together like two melons.
Yeah, exactly. So that brings us to the NPC left. He is running away still, and I think he is going to fire at you over his shoulder, kind of imparting as he's leaving to get help. And so,
did he reload already? Or does he not have to? Like, is it a special?
he's just got a pistol. So, yeah, he can reload and fire. It's not like
What is the slow firing one on the flintlock pistols?
Yeah, let's look up slow.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Let's. Slow firing means number of rounds equal to rating must pass before weapon can be fired. So no, he cannot fire it again. So this has to pass. So he can take this time to load and run. Oh, good call on that. Which is what he's going to do. So he's loading and he's moved from short to medium range. PC slot.
Fisk, after this explosion has happened, he kind of drops this board and he sees this guy running. He's going to kind of wince and kind of bring his busted arm up and rest the blunderbuss kind of on it and kind of aim at this guy, wait for him to kind of like pass from behind like one of the masts and then come back out into open view and kind of track him. And then there's this huge plume of smoke as he fires at him.
Perfect. Okay.
So it has long range, and I think you just said he was in medium?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I need to make a range, which is agility based. So that's 2, and I have 1 in gunnery. No, not gunnery. I have 1 in ranged. Okay. Is a 2 difficulty? Oh, you just muted yourself.
No, so for ranged, where's that chart? It's got a little bit of a different thing.
Is it on the cheat sheet, maybe?
Yeah, it's on one of the cheat sheets.
Let's see, actions, maneuvers.
Ranged. Okay, so
depends on distance. Check the table. Long range, average is, or medium is average. So it looks like 2 dice.
Okay, go for 2 dice.
Defense adds a black die. Okay.
And he does not have defense, so he
Okay.
do not have that.
All right. Let's see. Ooh, that's a good one. Where's the other ones? Okay. So those 2 cancel. No. Okay, so this and this cancel each other out. So I have so a triumph counts as a success and something else?
Yes, so it is a success, and then you get to spend it as well on something.
Okay, well, in that case, a failure would cancel out the success portion of it, but then I would still get to spend
Yes, you'd still have the
Doing so?
triumph left. Yeah.
Okay, so the roll is a complete wash in that case, and I will spend the triumph to. I'm going to add a blue die to my next allies check.
You could even pick if you wanted to for that.
I'm just going to have whoever goes next, because in this situation, I think it's really just a matter of us getting out of here. Actually, I'm going to apply the blue die to Nicola, so that way, whenever she tries to go get back in the boat, she gets a little help.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Nicola, you have a boost on your roll to enter the boat. So we're down to, I would say at this point, the two gentlemen in the boat have managed to kind of disentangle themselves from where they fell and have managed to bring the boat up further, so it's not as far to jump into. They're actually almost right where they need to be for the rest to get in, and that brings us to another PC slot.
Argus will use the opportunity to step up on the railing and jump off and try to land in the boat.
Okay. You may do so. Athletics coordination check. This time, I would say it's easy. They have made it where you can get in.
Okay. So that's one purple?
Yeah.
Well, ain't that a bitch? One success, 2 failures, and an advantage.
1 success, 2 failures, and 1 advantage.
Yes.
Okay, so you fail. You do not. I'd say you did not even make it over the railing. You just failed. But you have an advantage that you can spend.
Okay. So the wind and the rain on the deck caused me to slip and twist my ankle again. The same ankle. It buckles under me and I fall on my knees. I'm guessing I'm gonna say that the advantage I have is I make a perfect step stool for probably Charlie to come running up and use my back to jump and clear the railing.
That's perfect. The next person that needs to jump has got you as the stepping stool.
Yes.
Lovely. All right, and that brings us to the next PC slot.
It was a glory serving with you, gentlemen.
Sorry, August. So, pal, I'm going to run and jump off of him. And can I use this second maneuver? I need my second maneuver to try and get into the thing, don't I? Or is that just one?
It would be one maneuver to do the jump and in the boat. So if there's something else that you're wanting to do.
I'm going to throw a grenade and then jump in the boat.
Okay. Where are you throwing the grenade?
Just like kind of here at the back where it goes up to that second level where I imagine like they steer, and I kind of just lob it towards the second mast.
Okay, it has a short range. So I would say you could probably make it to that first mast, but you wouldn't be able to make it all the way to the second one. Like for throwing it wise.
Fair. That's fine.
Okay. So yeah, make a ranged attack.
I'm good at those.
Short range, so it's easy. The thing you're aiming for is huge, so you're going to get a boost die on that because it's easy to aim for.
I got 1 success, 1 triumph.
Ooh, what would you like to do?
2 success, 1 triumph.
Okay, so you definitely, as you throw it towards the mast, and as it approaches the mast, it's like perfect timing. It explodes just as it nears the mast and does significant damage to part of it. So that would be what, 9 damage that it would do?
Yeah, can I be bold and say that like this explosion even hits the guy that was running away from me?
That sounds pretty triumphant to me.
Yes, or you could spend it to do a critical hit on the mast.
I'll do that.
The critical hit?
Yeah, this like smacks right into the base of the mast and blows it from one side.
Okay,
It's
so
toppling.
I need you to roll a D100.
What symbol is that? Hold on.
Normal dice? What?
Yeah, what the fuck?
We didn't
Do I
have
even
these
have
out.
those?
I wasn't prepared for this.
70.
Okay, 70 says propulsion damaged. So let's in this case, it would be the mast itself. The hit, even though like it's not going to do too much damage, it obviously hit a very key part or very vulnerable part of the mast itself, and it causes the mast to just kind of tilt and break, and that mast will no longer be able to help them steer the ship or fly.
And then as my second maneuver, I'm using Argus as a stool to jump into the boat.
Into the boat. Go for it.
Coordination, you said, was applicable?
Yes.
I'm good at that too. And I get a boost from Argus as my stool, and then only 1 purple.
Yeah, just 1 purple.
My God. 3 success. This is incredible.
So you make it seem so easy. You launch off of Argus's back, vault over the railing, do a nice cartwheel, whatever you want to do, somersault in the air, land on your feet. Ta-da!
I think I actually land softly. That's just the big thing, is I like distribute my weight, not to like jostle the plane enough to knock Nicola free or disorient our pilots.
Perfect. Yeah, you land and it's like a cat landing. Nobody even.
I almost picture that like this thing's on an angle and I like slide across the floor and then catch myself on the edge as like smooth.
Perfect.
Badass.
Okay, so that was the end of the round, right? You were the last PC to go, or were you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so that brings us back to the top of the round, which is another PC.
Nicola's going to try and... Oh, sorry.
Go
you
ahead.
can go.
I was just going to try to roll over the railing, so... Broken ankle and all.
Okay, yep. Coordination or athletics. Easy.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I'm going to spend a story point. You have to roll a red die instead of a purple.
Okay. Would it be possible for me to be able to help him at the expenditure of his story point?
No, not really.
Okay, no, just I figured I'd ask.
Yeah.
I have 2 successes and a threat.
2 successes and a threat. So you make it into the boat. But what happens? I'm going to say basically it's another strain on you. You land on your ankle. You hurt it some more. Yeah, and you take a strain.
It would loudly snap.
Oh no.
Like, pry wood on a snowy day.
Oh
Just
dear.
crack.
And that is that. Okay, so we have NPC slot. So we have the guy running away. He now has a loaded rifle or pistol. Which I believe, what is the range of pistol? It is
Medium.
medium, which is what he's at. So he can still fire at you, and you are the only one left.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is what he will do. And do you have any defense?
I do not, unless the broken mast is providing any kind of...
Nope, but the weather is. The weather is giving him some.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
But he still manages one success. So he does nail you with the bullet. It's kind of a glancing shot. So 6 damage minus your soak. And then he will continue to run. So that will put him... I guess 1 maneuver away from being long range. That brings us to PC slot.
Nicola is trying to climb up.
Oh, that's right. Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so in this case, I would say that would be athletics.
Okay. And I have a blue die. And how many purple?
I'd be average, so it would be 2 purple.
She just cannot get herself up. It's a success. One advantage.
Okay, so you are struggling. You can't make it up, but you don't. I mean, you didn't fail or anything, so you're still hanging on.
Would you be able to have her other? Could that be the advantage? Is that she grasps on with her other hand?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Mechanically, I'm going to say that's going to give you a boost die next time.
Oh, okay.
Okay, next PC slot. So we have, 2 people in the boat? Well, 1 person in the boat, 1 hanging onto the boat? No, 2 people, right? Argus made it in.
Yep.
Argus made it.
Yeah, 2 in the boat, 1 hanging on the boat.
2.5.
All right. So Fisk, seeing that this guy has just having been winged by this guy, he kind of staggers back. He turns and realizes he's out of range. He's going to look over the railing, kind of drop the blunderbuss towards the boat, and then he's going to grab one of these ropes that's kind of been snapped. This rigging that's kind of holding the mast that is kind of like starting to fall. He's going to kind of wrap his good arm kind of up in this rope, and then basically kind of put his ass on the gunnel and just kind of roll off the side of the ship, kind of using this rope to kind of help try to lower himself down towards the boat.
You're kind of repelling?
Yeah, if possible, using athletics.
Absolutely. I would say this, okay, so it's easy already. I would give yourself, take a boost die because of the rope.
Okay. I had injured my hand, so if I can, I'd like to take the black die for doing it one-handed.
Sure.
Okay. So my brawn is 4, and I have 3 in athletics, so I'll need to re-roll one of my yellow. Okay. That's a blank. Let's cancels out that. So that is 2 advantages and 4 successes.
Okay, so you definitely make it in. You can describe how well you do that. And you have 2 advantage that you can.
Okay, so Fisk comes rappelling down this the side of this ship, like with rain just like pouring down, and he's got this kind of determined like grim expression on his face as this pain is just like really bad, and he's straining. And as he comes down and gets into the boat, he uses his momentum to actually come down into the boat and actually kind of get us underway, to basically kind of pushing off away from the ship.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yes. And at that point, up on the deck, you hear like the doors slam open and booted feet, etc., are pounding all over the deck. And I think we're going to stop right there. So, Nicola, you're hanging on by 2 arms.
Yep.
Yeah. So, thank you, everybody. This was a blast.
That was
I will
intense.
stop sharing the
Yeah.
picture.
Fantastic.
I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this campaign. You guys are killing it. So we will do the outros, I guess, in reverse. So Megan, you can go first.
Hi everyone, I'm Megan. I'm one half of the YouTube channel Dice on Ice, and this game is fantastic. I love seeing the dice at work, and just to see how they can change a story so drastically, but also so thematically, which is super awesome. I'm really digging this system. So thanks for having me.
Thank you for playing. It's been amazing. Jason.
All right, yeah, I'm just gonna second that. I really dig this narrative dice system. It is made for really entertaining few sessions, and I'm really digging it. To everybody, I'm Jason Smith again, Smith Forge Gaming. Come back and see how this goes, because this is fantastic, and Karen is just killing it as a DM. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Jason. I'm having a blast. This campaign is just going places where I didn't even expect it to go. So this is super awesome. Jeremy?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, everybody. I am Jeremy again. I have the YouTube channel, the Erasmus Expeditions. I'm also part of the Dudes of Yore podcast, which can be found on YouTube. Check both of those out. There's lots and lots going on at least the Erasmus Expeditions. And the Dudes of Yore has another episode recording 2 Fridays from this past Friday. So I'm really excited about that. Genesys is a system that has taken me a lot to kind of start getting the hang of, because it's not really a complex system, but the interpretations of the dice take me a moment, because I'm so used to playing a game like Dungeons and Dragons where that isn't a part of the mechanics. It's just all something you just ad lib. So having a mechanic tied to it has certainly kind of taken me a little bit of getting used to, but I really enjoy it. And I've really noticed in this session in particular how much of a difference changing the types of dice can tend to have on a particular roll. So like upgrading from yellow or from green to yellow, and having like multiple ranks in it, it really does tend to play out in the long run really well. You definitely feel more like an expert at something when you have more ranks in it. And there's not a whole lot of systems that accomplish that with just dice alone. Most of the time it's all modifiers and adjustments after the roll. So that's a really cool thing to see kind of in the process. So I'm enjoying it a lot. And absolutely, Karen, I don't know what you were so worried about. You have great instincts as a GM. You've made several calls throughout the course of this game, but especially tonight that were just on point and showed a comfortability with the rules that is fantastic. So thank you for letting me be a part of this, as well as to the three other players. These three people are fantastic. And I love playing with all of you guys. So I'm looking forward to the next session. You're muted.
Are you waiting for me?
No, I was unmuting and muting somebody else. It was really weird. Thank you, Jeremy. I'm starting to feel like I'm getting kind of a grasp on how it works. So it's pretty awesome. I love this game. I love, like you were saying with the dice, I love the narrative dice. I love how it all matters, and I love how we actually have to interpret it. That's what really gets me. But it's like you said with D&D, it's foreign to think like, oh, I didn't just succeed or fail. There was something else to it. And I like how we're all kind of like learning that together and carrying on. So, Baron.
What's up, everybody? I'm Baron. Chances are you've probably seen me around various channels associated with this one. And as always, happy to be here. I would say that this is probably the best I've ever rolled in a Genesys game, so that was kind of fun to succeed at things. And getting more comfortable with the dice, I feel like it's allowing me to lead back to the RP side of things and the incorporation thereof, so I can focus less on, this symbol means this, and more of this is how Charlie would react to Nico, or how Charlie thinks of Mr. Fisk through the interpretation of the dice. So looking forward to diving deeper down that. Happy to be here.
Thank you, everybody, for coming along on this journey with me. Thank you, anybody who may watch in the future or who is watching now. This is Karen from Myth and Gears, and we're signing off.